No,
We got
we're
rid of all the
fine.
bots.
Good
So-
evening. It is great to have you all here with us again. Tonight, we are looking forward to chatting about what the party has undergone in the last month and seeing what they might have gotten up to and the success of their campaign. So we have a few moving pieces, but before we get into that, a warm welcome to everybody again here tonight. We've got all of our regular crew, and we have our regular sponsor as well. Behold Games for all of your needs. These guys do some amazing sets of dice. They do a great other selection of trinkets and things to keep your dice warm in, because cold dice rolls badly, as we all know. So if you're in need of any game gear, go check them out and use our code to get some discounts there, which is pretty exciting. Otherwise, is there anything else from the rest of the crew before we get started as far as announcements are concerned?
No, I think that's it.
Amazing. So let's roll that intro and get started.
Woo!
And we are back. So to recap where we left off last time, we start off in the prison cell that you might recall last time, Finry. You'd gotten out of that from memory. And who was it that you're facing?
Mr. Dickface himself, slave trader Joe. Is my divine smite still ready to be released? Because I've been holding it for a week and there's a lot of build up.
Yeah, I'd say you probably have a good divine smite sort of loaded in the chamber.
Okay, and he's standing right in front of me?
Yeah, he's directly in sort of the splash zone.
And is the guard right behind me?
Yes, you would have some spectators to this divine smiting.
Right. Okay.
Pay extra for that.
The compensation for guards is a
Hope you bought a
complex
poncho! Yeah, I look him in his beady, gross slaver eyes. You took everything from me. I'm going to launch up and I'm going to divine smite him right in the face.
Nice.
With my giant salad fork of doom.
Incredible. As his sort of smile creeps across his face, your divine smite lands. You see as the light clears, a smile still on his face.
Ah, shit. He's not even there, is he?
You don't think that'll be how easy you take me down, do you?
Trembling with anticipation, but I'm going to disengage and I'm going to run up the hall.
Run, little Finry, run.
I'm coming for you.
If you meet me out on that battle, I will have for you like I had your family.
No, I haven't got my stuff with me. I got to play it smart. I'm by myself. I have nobody else but myself to rely on. I have to survive to get him. So
And,
I'm going to run around the corner.
Amazing. I'll leave you there. You disappear into the distance as they lose track of you into the dark tunnels. You're still great at stealth, so I imagine you're able to get...
Yeah, well, I was actually going to do two things.
Sure, what's the second?
I was going to cast... Yeah, so I was going to cast Locate Object. So I've got 10 minutes, and I'm going to cast it on my Cloak of the Bat. So I'll pop it up in the thing, because I can just run around forever trying to find these things. Or I can, play it smart, like shock horror.
Yeah, you're probably pretty good at stealing things back as well.
Yeah, so if it's within 1,000 feet of me, I know exactly where it is.
You like immediately know, even from past experience, probably that it's probably going to be in the sort of lead guard's chambers, the captain of the guard. And so as you run out, you head straight for it. Like the scent is strong, and you find a bunch of stuff in a crate that you see belongs to you within there.
Cool. I'll kick myself out. So I am in Krago.
You are in Krago, currently inside of sort of the sort of palace guards chambers, and beyond that, you are not quite sure right now.
Okay.
What's so as Finry reaches out to the space, I think, like, given the stakes that are at play here, I think Finry would immediately get a bit of an inclination that he needs to make it to the rest of the party. I think as you feel this tingle appear on your hand, you see this little bolt of lightning that splits into two, an arrow pointing towards the rest of your party.
I'm going to take that as a good sign. Last thing Finry remembers about the party before he was blown up was the Feywild being unmade. So it's like, I'm going to take that as a good sign and put all my stuff on, don my hat of disguise to transform so I look exactly like I used to look. And I'm then going to open up the palace windows and... Man, I really hope this is the Cloak of the Bat and not just some random cloak, and I'm going to use it to fly and jump out the window.
Have you ever used this in the past? When was the first time you used this Cloak of the Bat?
I've used it a lot of times. Most recently, before the explosion, was when I found the cultist lair, and I came down and I did the superhero landing and cast Shatter, which is pretty dope. Everyone remembers it because it's a Hall of Fame moment.
Impeccable.
And then he's gonna follow the arrow and see where it leads him.
How are you traveling?
Probably. How long does my cloak fly me for? I'm pretty sure it can fly me for a while. You have advantage of in an area of dim light darkness. You can keep... Okay, so whenever it's night, I have a flying speed, or if it's cloudy, if it's dim light or dark, I can fly 40 feet with this thing. I have a fly speed of 40 feet, so I can just continue.
Does it ever fall apart, or does it sort of stay pretty solid for as long as you want to use it?
So it's essentially, as long as I would like to use it, I can use it. As long as it has to be the conditions for it here. I can put it in the BTT. Essentially, in an area of dim light or darkness, I can grip the edge of the cloak, both hands, and use it to get a fly speed of 40 feet. And then if there's ever is no dim light or darkness, won't have the flying speed. And if needed to as well, I can use the polymorph function of it to transform myself into a bat for an hour.
Cool. So as you are flying, you fly continuously. So we'll leave that at that. But as we then return to the other party, you guys are now, as the morning approaches, the sun begins to rise. The deck of the boat that you have commissioned taking you out this way, you hear the whir of the magic propulsion engines that now are attached to the ship as it hums through the morning breeze. You all stand at the side of the boat, watching as the snow-capped mountains appear on the horizon in front of you. Rafe, you begin to recall the moments when you viewed this place from above, when your ships first crashed down towards the snowy cliffs that you now see ahead of you. Your journey so far, uneventful. It seems that there are far more things at stake than one small ship heading to the middle of nowhere as war begins to stir across the land. As you turn and continue to plot yourself around the side of the coast, there is a definitive moment when you all look at each other as the captain shares with you, "Look here, I reckon we go any further and we're probably going to get you further away from where you're intending to go. Best bet's from here that you strike yourselves out through the snow itself, and maybe you can cut into whatever campsite you believe is out there. What say you all?"
Would we mean to go on
Forgotten
foot?
how
Yeah.
fucking cold that is here.
Nay, not all of us have the blessing of a furry coat, I can tell you that.
Is this familiar to you, Rafe? Any of it? Anything at all?
Where are we?
So I'd say probably
Sort of around
from you guys are around there, I think, is the right of it.
And is that the camp, or is
I
that
think we said that the camp was sort of in
down there?
this space. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Can you get us from where we
I'll
need
say
to
that
go?
we
Rafe?
was this, and this is just retconning some history. Has that settlement been around since before the crash?
I'd say it was. I'd say that that would be another one of sort of the ways that your community is probably you've begun to branch out and start to communicate with the wider Trenkasha. You're not sure about how familiar they are given your lack of involvement in the recent years, but they'd probably be aware of your community.
Well, that's probably our best bet for at least a warm sleep and a warm meal.
Now,
It'll be pretty hard going.
if you have the money for it, I reckon you'd be able to get some sled teams that'll take you a bit further inland.
Absolutely. I think we can make that happen. Speed things up a bit.
What was
And
it?
I just want to have some dogs that I can yell at and be like, mush!
A completely
Cats are
reasonable
better than
approach, I
dogs.
reckon. I've got myself a couple of sea dogs around here that I can tell to mush if you know what I mean.
What was the captain's name again? Do we remember?
I know you talked to the bartender, but I don't know if you guys actually met the
Okay.
captain himself.
All right then. All right. Well, we get ourselves aboard to shore and then make our way. Yes,
How long do we think that trek is?
Gloria.
I can't do D&D distances.
Don't wear any footwear, you see, and she pulls up her chicken feet. So back when I was a youngin', right, back in yonder year, used to be able to get these racket kind of things, yeah, and you'd get some lashings of rope and you'd kind of secure them onto your little you little tootsies, so that you didn't go and like stick them all the way in and get the frostbite under your claws and some such. Is there anything like that around here? Because otherwise, like, it's going to be a very, very, very difficult, arduous journey. Maybe you could carry me, dear.
Well, I feel I will be as little use in this. I've never walked in the snow myself.
Yes, but you have shoes.
Are you sure if you ask the locals that they'll have some sort of shoe that you may put on? But with feet like those, I'm not sure that every sort of cobbler around would be able to sort you.
I didn't say shoes. And she like gets out like.
Is there anything like she could draw like a sketch with something like?
You probably have like found some parchment like around. You probably have some scholarly tools if
No,
that's
I'm
something
thinking
that
of
you.
something that's distinctly more offensive. Like, is there like
I mean, like the
oil,
sail, for
arrow,
example, or like you can draw on the sail, you can draw on the door, you can draw on anything.
All right, so I've got some charcoal. I'm just gonna be like, no. And she just like draws this picture of this like rudimentary kind of racket on the door.
Stop! I mean, oh God, I have only been traveling with you for what seems to be a week and a half, but by God, you have scribbled on almost every surface of this place. Why do I discuss things with you?
I really want to do like a sleight of hand, and when he's not paying attention, I want to like draw like a dick and balls on his back.
Another one! By God, can you stop drawing penises on my clothing? The gold is good. The gold is good. The gold is good.
Have we used any barrels or anything like that as part of supplies? And we could use a lid from a barrel and chop it down in the middle, and then you've got the makings of some snowshoes.
Yes, I know.
I am surely not sacrificing any of my own barrels. If you want barrels, you better get them from the township.
Yeah, is there no port nearby you can take us to?
No, we're literally at the one right here. Do you see the village?
So I'm sure, Gloria, Rafe, I'm sure we can find some supplies some traveling equipment and gear to make that journey easier.
Only if I can have skis.
Sure, why not? If we can find something like that, then we can find it.
Alright, I'm in.
Do you have much gold on you? I actually, on the note of skis, I have a pair that I've been sort of dragging behind me for a few years. You see, I used to, back in my younger days, put a sort of cable out the back, and then on really windy days when the sail was getting us some good speed, I'd take the skis out on the water. I reckon if the offer's right, I could part with them, and you may be able to use them on the snow. How does that sound?
Well, it would only really work if I had a vehicle to attach them to.
You just said that the strapping man here will be able to carry you. Surely he'd be able to drag you?
Well, I thought that is what the dog sleigh team was for.
I mean, like, if that's the way you want to play it.
I'll leave you two to discuss the logistics. 10 gold pieces, and I think you'd be set.
Can I do like an appraisal and see if that's okay?
You feel like what would it be? What kind of avenue are you taking to figure out like if it's a good price or not?
Well, like I'm like a pirate, right? As my backstory, so
nice.
I've been around these kind of people and their swindling deals before. So I know what he's talking.
Like maybe an insight check with advantage because you know his type.
Ooh, a +1. Yeah, that's gonna get me places. All right. Run.
I didn't say you were a good pirate.
Not a very.
But you have heard of her.
It's a 14.
You reckon like you probably go a little bit down, but it seems like you guys have built at least some bit of fondness for each other in the trip here.
Oh,
how close is this port?
You guys are sort of at the it's a bit inland, but you guys are at the main stopping point for boats. It's pretty empty, the port itself, because it's only really a small port designed to drop people off.
But can we see this main settlement?
Yeah.
That is on the map. Like it's well within reach.
Yeah, you know, you guys are at it. Like, you guys will probably walk 100 meters up the way and you will be there.
Just get there. We can get there. We can get our shit together and maybe ask someone what the direction is to... Where are you from, Rafe?
I forget the name of it.
But you do know
Kitty's,
it, right?
I'm from Kitty's Landing.
To be fair, it's been 4 years.
It's been 84
So-
years since he was home.
It has a name. Whiskers Landing. Whiskers Encampment. That was
yeah,
it.
Whiskers Encampment, that's the one.
So
Got there in the
surely,
end.
surely
It's
someone
got
here...
many names.
Well,
Just the one. But yes.
surely someone here can help us find this Whiskers Encampment you're from, yes? Can we just...
Oh, we've been trading with these fellows for years now.
Oh, great.
So
Yes.
yes, we shall make haste.
Yeah.
See if we can hitch our wagon to their wagon.
Just as long as the 10 gold pieces is paid and we get our skis sold, I'd be more than willing to get on my way.
Okay, I'll give you 7 gold pieces and a soft kitty lullaby to put you to sleep. You know I'm a very good performer.
If I can record it, you have yourself a deal.
I don't know how.
Oh, no, don't you stress. I've got my own equipment.
Oh, all right. Okay. And she cracks out her lute. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fire. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. There you
Nods
go.
at
That'll
his
put you right to sleep.
head.
Oh, wow, that is very
That was a pretty good trade. Let me just get the old shoes out for you. And he brings these 2 sets of skis, and one's got flames on it, the other one has like ice on it, and it's like this really cool like skater like deck design. There you go. I hope they'll bring you as much joy as they brought me.
I hand over my money.
Right, goodbye. Yeah, have fun. Yeah, you guys are at Lake Heath. It's a small fishing town responsible for most of the weather research conducted in the north. And one of the biggest fishing villages as well.
Should we take a quick cutscene and I'll go change the headsets over?
Yeah, please feel free.
Cat saying I'm not audible.
A little bit muffled, yeah.
Right, cutscene into walking through the town.
You guys are immediately hit by this sort of fresh smell of seafood, not the musty kind, but this beautiful fresh seafood as you see the merchants begin to call you over. Would you like some fresh fish? I've got some lovely fish here today, caught fresh by the fishermen here on the coast. We've got some steaks, if that's what you're interested in. We've got some...
How do you
small
catch
fish.
fresh steaks?
You see, we catch them while they're still a fish, and then we chop them into steaks, as it were.
You and I have very different conceptions of what constitutes a steak.
Well, if you find any cows around that you wouldn't mind us slicing into, you let us know and we'll sell it to you happily.
I think we should be moving on, team. What do we think? We're not the cows this group is looking for.
All right. Well, have a good day then. Any fresh food? Fresh fish, I mean. And they keep yelling their trade. and you smell this sort of strong, aroma hit you as well as you smell this brewed beverage that's being brewed around here. Now, Rafe, in your sort of, when you think back to home, what would be the quintessential morning warm beverage or a warm beverage of your people's culture? Less like alcoholic and more everyday use.
I'd say just goat's milk. Skip the fermentation.
Do you do any additives? Any sort of flavor enhancers?
Lime.
Lime. You guys, is it warm or cold? Like, how does it typically go?
Yeah,
It goes lumpy. That's how it goes.
You guys begin to
warm,
smell.
like warm.
A what?
It's like a pina colada.
Nice. You guys,
Warm, lumpy pina colada.
this creamy sort of aroma permeates across this cold morning as you smell the hint of citrus mixed with somehow a warm comfort of goat's milk that you know lies underneath that wonderful smell. And truly, somehow the magic of this entire beverage is that as you see it poured out for one patron in front of you, steaming, somehow there's not a single curdle. The lime and the milk have mixed together in unison without the need for the lumps. And that is the secret of what would you name this beverage?
The scurvy staple.
The hairball.
Anybody for a fresh hairball this morning? Hairballs!
I start
got
pushing
hot
people out of the
hairballs.
way, and I go, "It's been so long."
I didn't know
And,
we were expecting any of your people to be visiting us today, but you're more than welcome.
A round, please.
I
We're celebrating.
He counts each of you and he puts out the cups. And that'll be, let's call it 5 copper pieces for each of them.
And I throw him seven coppers.
For each of them, 5.
Oh, for each. Oh, hang on. Yes. Well, might need to rethink this. No, I'll pay him and tip extra.
Aye, you're too kind. And he like pours them all up to the top, and you can see him like really go to the extra effort to make sure you guys have like loaded cups. There you all are.
Could I get extra lime, please?
Oh, I understand that for some of your people it needs to be a little bit extra sharp.
And a spoon.
Oh, all right. Well, I didn't. How much extra lime do you want?
A fair amount. Let's get it lumpy.
You want just the lime juice, or would you like some pulp in there as well?
No, just the juice.
All right. Well,
Can't
you
have
give me
any
one
bits
moment.
in my hairball.
You hear the juice being like pressed again, and it comes back with like, you know, where they at cafes they sometimes bring you the milk on the side, and there's just like the side thing of milk. Of the lime juice, and he gives it to you with a spoon. Well, I hope that'll do ya.
So I'll take a big sip, and then spoon some lime juice in there. Shake it all around, cement mixer style, and then down it goes, down the hatch. And the reason why it's called the hairball is because it thickens up nicely in that transition, curdles on impact rather than curdles in the glass, and it clears anything out from the throat at that point.
Perfect for a cold winter's day.
So, is it just like
Perfect.
swallowing a massive loogie then?
Yes. But it collects the hair along the way.
I don't understand why we've actually started to drink this ourselves. It's quite a strange custom that our village has inherited, but hairballs for everybody.
I take my.
Have you brought anything from Whisker's encampment then today? Have you?
We're actually headed to Whisker's encampment. Do you know if there's any supply trains running anytime soon?
I reckon we'd be expecting one within the next 24 to 48 hours.
We might not have that long. What about if we were to strike our own way? Could we have a guide?
I
Where could
reckon
I
you probably
hire?
find some people. I know we've got a few of the trackers who end up coming around here. They usually hire their services out to hunters trying to capture some game or people worried about predators catching some of their crops. But for the right price, I'm sure they'd be willing to guide you through the frozen north.
I mean, the supply trains are slow and predictable, but I think we need some speed. Or if there's any other mounts that we could hire.
Mounts, not really good out here, but you get yourself a nice sort of sled and a couple of dogs, and they usually get you across there without too much worry.
You mentioned the word dogs, and Raef's tail goes puffy and fat.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend. I know that you're kind a bit averse to the canine kind.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. We're fine. Where could we find some adventurers or trackers?
Yeah, let me see if I've got any brochures lying around back here. Goes out the back and is like, right, yeah, you've got a couple of choices really. Are you looking for someone a little bit more combat focused, or somebody that might be able to get you out of a snowstorm if you're getting lost?
I think combat we can probably hold our own, but navigation and yeah, I'd hate to lose any time.
He throws the other brochure back. Well, then I reckon this is your ticket. He passes you the little business card, and it's like got the snowflakes sort of hand drawn on it and the name of the guy. You see Williams walking. It's this little tour company guide, and as you turn it over, it says "Shack at the edge of the village." And you can see it in the distance, sort of separate from the rest, but you see out the front of it are several kennels.
So if it's Williams walking, is there any other ones that could maybe prioritize speed?
As I understand, the business was started by his great-grandfather when walking was really the only option, but the name sort of stuck around, even though I don't think Williams walked much in his entire lifetime.
That sounds better then.
Was running not invented back then?
It's quite strange that you say that, but before magic existed, we hadn't quite had our consciousness raised to the point where we understood that there was more efficient forms of transport. We really have progressed at a phenomenal pace. Boats and walking was all we had back then.
Oh, look, we had walking. We had the amble.
I forgot about the amble.
Don't forget the humble shuffle.
Oh,
Yeah,
I used to humble shuffle all over the place, I tell you.
We occasionally strode.
Oof, only if you were in a real rush.
Yeah.
Did you ever strut?
Sorry, what?
Did you ever strut at all? Or was it just a stride?
You'll have to show it to me. I'm not quite sure which one.
I've only heard rumors of such a thing.
Right. Well, rumors, they must stay unless somebody else has an example for you. Nobody?
Enter Finry.
Okay.
You guys here. Swoosh, swoosh.
We're wasting precious time. Let's go find Williams Walkers. And let's That's hustle.
You see Archie just push the completely untouched glass or whatever the hell that was, the hairball, just out of the way.
Archie, that's impolite. Finish the drink.
I did make it for you from scratch.
No, it's I'm quite full from lunch. It's okay. Rafe, you have mine if you.
Do you see many lime trees around you?
Limes are a rarity in this. Like, they don't grow in the frozen north.
Like,
We have to
you
import
took
them.
food out of the mouth of a child that will come later today. You know, it's just a little bit unfair to the rest of the people of this town.
You're
Is
saying I
there a
need to treat
child
this.
walking nearby now?
You see, like, a mom with, like, 2 kids walking down the street, and the mom just shakes her head and just points and just, like, grabs her child.
When in Rome, right? I'll
When
pick it
in-
up and I'll down it.
When in the frozen north.
When in the frozen north. That's the saying, isn't it?
You,
It is now.
you feel I don't know, it's like, you know when the drain in a bathtub, like, that has that last little bit left? And you just hear that as it just, like, really gets it all out of there? As you drink this hairball, it really does feel like that suction is just happening, but from the inside. As you are just cleaned out. Like, your sinuses have never felt so open. You're not sure if you have sinuses anymore, but whatever was there is now empty. Clean as.
And
Is
it
there
feels amazing.
Pot plant nearby.
Yeah, surprisingly.
I'm gonna try
Frozen
and
north.
slide of hand my drink into the pot plant.
Nice. As you do so, you notice that it is not the only example of where some sort of liquid had been poured down it and it left some residue on the surface that had now dried up.
That could be anything.
Hey, that plant, I'm not sure why, it must be good luck, but it's been thriving.
And you're doing a marvelous job. Keep it up.
Aye, thank you very much. I was told by some of the patrons that they might like some foliage by the booth.
The foliage?
The foliage, the plant.
Yes. Oh,
Right.
yes, you should put more in. More plants. Everywhere.
Right. You know, I never really thought that as a sort of a drink cart that plants would be such a high request from my patrons.
Oh, it's very, very good for mental health, dear. Yes.
I understand. It's surprising that that's such a high priority for people that have decided to spend their lives in a desolate, frozen wasteland.
Well, it brings the cheer.
That it does, indeed. Well, if there's nothing else, the child behind you is starving, so...
Ross, the convenient time for you. The child is starving. You haven't had your drink.
No. I was gonna do it your voice. Yes. No, I will certainly partake.
That's not what I meant at all.
And also just this cleansing, because quite profound level of cleansing.
I'm gonna make a saving throw. Con save.
Have you ever drunk raw eggs?
No, I haven't. But
I can imagine it. Well, I can't. I haven't either, but I can. Oh, that's a solid that one.
Yeah, not everybody takes their first cleansing in a sophisticated manner.
Oh yeah, so I'd say that fails. So it does a goes down, comes back up, and then has to go back down again.
Oh,
Does it come out your nose?
A little bit.
Part of the-
Alright, well, good luck. You guys get to Williams Walking, and out the front you see a slightly rotund man who is tending to a bunch of playing dogs. As you walk up, you see that their eyes sort of follow you as you walk in. The dogs all stop playing as well as their eyes track you. Not every day I see my place of business approached by a group of strangers.
We hear you're the The man with the business who can get us where we need to be. Reliable.
Where exactly is that, my feline friend?
Whiskers encampment.
No.
I've been out there a few times. You're looking for a bit of an expert guide, are ya?
It's been a few years. I can't say I'd recall the route.
And you're not willing to wait a little second for your own people to come and get you? I hear they're coming in 2 days' time.
The supply train can be slow. And I have matters that are more pressing.
Right. Well, how much gold you've got?
Is that how this works?
Yeah,
just
if
have a
I'm willing to
price?
risk my life for the adventure, then my life better be worth something if I make it out.
Risk your life. You just told us the caravan comes through those parts every few days. And it's such a horrendously harrowing journey.
I can point out several grave sites if you like.
Well, name your price.
Nah, if we face good weather, I reckon 50 gold pieces.
How long's the
And
journey?
if we face terrible weather,
100 gold pieces.
I turn to the rest of the group and I say audibly, we could always go with whatever the name was on the other brochure that was discarded.
Make a persuasion
they have a
check.
really good reputation, I've heard.
Make
and
a
they're much more
persuasion.
reasonably priced.
Yeah, they probably will not pussy out.
17?
Hey, all right. Let's not be so hasty here, right? I'm sure that we can all understand that there's a business being taken here. I'm sure, go to somebody, your own competitors and start touting that you're going to switch vendors on them.
Well, what's your offer then?
I'll take 10 gold off, 40 and 90. How's that sound? 40, 80 even. I'll take it off the top. Let's hope we only get good weather.
Tell you what. 45 if you can get us there extra quick. And I should have asked how long it would normally take.
I will make it quick. You've got yourself a deal. Yeah,
Yep.
he's just immediately you've given him a straight 45 gold out.
When do we leave?
Well, I can leave probably in the next half an hour. You just have to get the dogs tied. We're early enough in the day that I reckon the trip's still worth it. So if you're interested.
I think we can make it today, then we should. Right? Rafe?
Well,
Is
get
that us,
yourselves in
Gloria?
order. Get your stuff some supplies because we're heading into the wilderness.
Okay. We need to go some magic shopping, some potion shopping. I would love to get some health potions or something like that in this area.
We got lots of fish.
Yeah.
You may be able to find somebody with an heirloom or two and something that they've dredged up, but not so much a magic emporium or anything like that.
Forget it then. We'll find it elsewhere.
Hey, your loss.
Speaking of supplies and fish, do you have any of that canned fish? I'm trying to remember the name of it, the surströmming?
That's the one.
You might have to go talk to some of the other vendors. I've really tried to keep my niche into the sort of lime milk game. It's quite a complicated space by itself.
I turn to the rest of the party. I'm like, you have to try this dish.
You guys find yourself stocked up half an hour in as this journey begins. And it's as the journey begins that you do actually hear that flapping of the wings. As in the evening, you had a visitor fly towards you. as Finry, you fly over the frozen area and see see this group sitting in the town. Your group, your people.
Is he flying a bat?
You can probably adjust your approach, but depends on how you want to first get back to the party. They probably haven't seen you yet, so you have a chance to affect your entrance.
Yeah, I knew the ring was drawing me somewhere for some reason. I didn't know it was to the party. I recognized two of them. I recognize, hey, I know that big strapping guy. But
which one?
Mez.
You do know Mez?
Yeah, I've recognized him to work some jobs together. I don't see Harm. Don't see Malchus.
Absent.
Don't see Rhea. Shoot, how do I... I'll take him. I'll land to maybe a street over it, so somewhere I can get a vantage to just watch the party, and I'll just land and just look at them and just feel trying to internally work up the courage to go and talk to them because I haven't seen them for 4 years.
How does it feel now for Finry seeing some of them here?
It was immediately as soon as he saw them, it was elation, happiness, oh my god, they're okay. Some of them are here, and then concern because he left them. He doesn't know how they're going to react to him. He wants to. It's that fear of that they're going to be angry and reject him and not want to, continue on with him. But there's one thing. If Finry knows that things are hard and stuff, but best way through, best thing for it is just go straight through. So he'll watch them for a little bit, wait until they're getting ready to go and stuff, and he'll walk up behind, because he had a good relationship with Hector, so he's just going to casually just walk up behind Hector once he's got his back turned to him. Hey Hector, what you got there?
What? You just see Hector launch a firebolt behind him.
As this fire sizzles in the snow next to where you were standing. What do you do?
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, no, I should have seen that coming. Hi, Hector. It's been a while.
It's not Hector. Not anymore, but where have you been? It's a long story, but it's Archie now, Finry.
Where have you guys? It's been 4 years.
So we've heard.
4 years.
How did you find us? Where did you go? Where have you been? You disappeared from us, Finry.
Krago.
You just disappeared.
Archie
I
did.
couldn't
had
reach
some
you.
things to take care of.
Did you take care of them?
Didn't we just have a Finry?
We did. Finry, Gloria, Finry. This is Finry of Shankasha, not Finry of the Feywild. Finry, you met another. Not going to believe this. This is crazy. It was another
more
Finry.
than one.
It's a really common name.
It's really common.
Yes,
at least one person in each reality is named Finry.
Oh, Finry, come here.
Oh, okay. I'll straighten up my coat and stuff as I look at Gloria, and it's Enchanté, mademoiselle, and I'll hold my hand out to take hers.
Yeah, all right. It's the same guy.
Finry, come. Bring him close for a second.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Where's Harm? Where's Malchus and all that? Where's Flint and where's everyone?
Flint yells out from the back, "I'm over here somewhere."
Oh, so I didn't see you over there behind
It's
all those
alright.
bags.
I'm reading books and shooting stuff.
I pull
Don't change
Finry
the-
in, and I say, Finry,
Yeah. What's up? Yeah. What? Oh, hey,
Carl-
miss. What?
yeah, we'll get into that in a second, but Carlos, not Carlos, what's his name? What was his name again? What was his name?
Malchus.
Malchus.
Is no longer with us.
Malchus is no longer. He met a different fate, and he left on his own terms. But Harm was devastated that you left. He was never the same again. He felt betrayed by you, and I kind of like bring Finry right down closer to me, even though he's not a big guy. Bring him down to me, and I say, he wanted me to tell you one thing, and I'm just going to give Finry a sucker punch to the guts.
Make a strength.
Certainly try.
check. I want to see you.
A strength check.
Yeah. Let's say this is
An
coming.
unarmed punch? Is it an unarmed punch?
Yeah, like an unarmed
Unarmed
punch.
punch.
Unarmed punch. Unarmed
I
attack.
really want to just see like what kind of intensity you're bringing towards this, like what kind of energy you're able to muster.
Archie's
11.
been leveling up in monk quietly for like the last several months, just for this moment, just so he can stunning strike.
Finry, you're too good at avoiding these kind of hits, right? Like,
I'll pretend he's got me. I'll pretend.
yeah, right. This is more than what I'm saying. How do you react to this less than ideal attack on your body? Do you lean into it, or do you show that it doesn't really affect you?
I'll act like it's got.
Let's do a performance check
yeah.
then, shall we?
Yeah, no, that was.
What's your passive?
Wow. That was right. That's a
perception
16.
there, Archie.
I can never find passive perception on these sheets.
Even your new Fandango.
if you're on,
It's what?
It's 8 plus.
Are you on D&D Beyond or the?
No. Boundary. I'm going to say my perception here is 11.
Yeah. So with that, you smack Finry hard in the gut, and you see Finry just double over in an intense pain.
And then straight away, I grab him and give him a massive hug. It's so good to see you, man.
You notice he hugs better than he punches.
Yeah. As you hug Finry, you notice that you can see his left arm, but when you hug him, you can't feel it.
You also notice that Archie's missing his left arm.
You guys gotta hug, and you both just like swipe.
Yeah,
off.
what?
I see we've both been through some changes here, Finry.
Archie, did you? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you mention the part with the unfortunate end?
Oh, yeah, Finry. Oh, yeah, you're right, Gloria. I should mention that. Finry, Harm's dead.
What? What?
Yeah.
Well, no, he was always quite skeleton-y.
No,
but-
Harm is gone. He was a pile of dust. He sacrificed himself to save the rest of us and to save the entire Feywild, the entire realm.
But
I
He
bring out
wasn't
the
like-
little mason jar of harm and give it a shake.
Does it glow green?
He's
I don't think so.
Actually, DM, I've been following the ring to the rest of the party.
You've
Is
been
there-
following- yeah,
is
we've
it-
been-
has
it
it
was
gone
a
quiet now?
electricity arrow on your wrist, on your like back of your hand.
Hmm.
The remaining hand, so the right hand.
Oh, so it wasn't the ring; it was Khalil.
Yeah, it was like Khalil. It was a Khalil
Okay.
vibe.
Okay.
yeah, Harm is gone, Finry. That's why I had to do what I did, because that was his dying wish, that he wanted me to let you know how betrayed he felt.
I really felt it. like right in my
I'm
diaphragm.
sorry I had to do that to you, and I won't try.
No,
to...
I understand.
17. I whispered.
Yeah, so you probably noticed that you've known Archie for some time. Not really known him to be somebody that was very good at physical violence. And you definitely noticed that punch would not have done that to anybody. But whether you do anything with that information is up to you.
I think I whispered down, like, go to Archie and be like, I think Harm's retribution's probably gonna need another go. I don't think Finry learned a lesson.
On the note of
I liked Harm and I was sad that he died.
So was I, but that was the other Finry.
On the note
one's
of
just still trying to process
Harm's
it.
retribution, Harm, as you shake off the dirt, step into some new feet to walk in, how are you finding your way to the party?
Well, the first thing I've been given is a task to kill Gragnell's High Priest. Right. So I'm at Anubis Landing, and I have one track mind for doing my task. I'm gonna head a little bit north. I'm gonna try and avoid the bigger towns. Is Wytherwich a bigger town, or is it a little bit smaller?
Most of those towns there are sort of mid-sized towns. Like, they're not going to be your big centers. Around the capitals themselves, you'll sort of see some bigger settlements, but as it stretches out further away, they get sort of progressively smaller.
I'm going to hit up a couple of the settlements along the way. I'm going to raise a couple of skeletons for protection on the road, because I'm just one dude, bit of a scary face, but just one guy walking along. And as I hit up some of those bigger settlements, I'm going to just ask for some knowledge of where this High Priest of Gagnell is. Pretty much anyone along the way, I'm just going to be like, pull them up, kind of intimidate a little bit, ask them a couple of questions, and just check out their answers. Since spending a bit of time with Anubis, my passive perception, passive insight is very high now.
Nice. You make it through this space, and with like that high insight now, and I guess knowing what you now know of Anubis's domain, I think you have also begun to understand that if Anubis is able to do the things that you now know he's capable of, so is Gragnell. And I think that unique perspective gives you like insight, calling out some of the manipulation and the trickery that's going on I guess both sides of this war. Your side obviously is your own biased opinion, is doing everything for the good of the future.
The great and wise Anubis, okay.
Yeah. People will debate which side was right, but for now we portray this one. But yeah, you quickly notice that the further you get from Avolo, the sort of capital of Nandar, the more you get towards Krago, and the less people are willing to just openly badmouth Gragnell. It seems that people begin to have, I guess, at least initially, just sort of a passive feeling, like they don't really care either way, like let them do what they want to do. But you do get a few more the closer you get to Krago that begin to shut down a little bit and close up when you show a little bit of bias towards the non-Gragnell path. Do you continue to sort of openly discuss your affiliation, or how do you approach your journey as you travel through this more tenuous country?
No, I think as I start to get that feeling of people, the vibe is people shutting down from my discussions and less from my appearance. I start to be a little bit more crafty. And, I talk about the fact that I want to pay tribute to Gragnell, and I want to go and find out more about him? Where's the key place to go and find out more about him? And I just tried a little bit more, deceptive work.
Yeah, so I guess would you say you're trying to persuade them to believe that you're doing this for the right reason, or how would you try and infiltrate this organization?
Yeah, it's a lot more religion focused. I'm very knowledgeable in religion in general, right?
Nice.
So, especially as a bit of a champion of a certain god now, I've kind of got that aura around me. So I start talking very religiously to them, start talking about rituals and that I want to be able to do, and where's the best place to get the things to be able to do that, and just make it much more of a that sort of.
So I think you're trying to persuade them still, but you're using your knowledge of religion to do so. And I think as a result, what I'll rule is I want you to do sort of to understand how well you infiltrate. A persuasion check with advantage given your religious proficiency.
All right. Persuasion check. Let's give it a go with advantage. 12?
12. Initially, I think you're learning your way through this new religion. It takes you a lot of time to. It feels initially sacrilegious, I think, to talk about anybody other than Anubis, but
yeah,
I think it just takes you a bit longer as a result of that role to really land it. But as you get towards the end of the month, you do start to make some progress, and you get told of an initiation night that will allow new members to potentially be sworn into the order. And that's sort of the opportunity that I will let you decide whether you pursue or not in that vein.
And where is that happening? In Krago? Or?
In Krago, sort of that's the message you've been given. They've sort of let you know that if you're willing, they'll take you to the spot that's only sort of shared with members.
Okay. I take that offer of travel to Krago. I take that offer. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through with any of the processes yet, but it's a step in the right direction.
And so you do.
That bit of knowledge, though, is now key for me. So with that, I realized that part of this process is I can't do everything alone, and I need to know what's happened to the rest of the cows. So I'm going to use sending to reach out to Chad. Archie the Chad.
Bring. As you're busy sitting there, ready to make your trip through the snow, you get this message from Harm.
Archie, it's Harm. I live. Praise Anubis. I mean, Trankasha, do the cows live? Where are you all? You can respond to this message.
He goes completely quiet and just pale for a moment and grabs onto whatever is near him and takes a sort of a stumbled step. If we're walking at the moment, you just see Archie just stop.
Come on, Archie. Don't get left behind.
It's not called William standing still.
Rafe, Gloria.
You get lost in a blizzard out here.
Harm's alive.
What?
He just reached out. Finry, he's alive. He just reached out to me. We saw him.
You just said he was dead, though.
We saw him be disintegrated.
You literally just said he was dead. He's dead. I literally said he's a skull. He's like a skull-faced dude.
Hold on.
He's probably
just
already half there anyway.
Archie, there's a thing that can happen in the sort of mountain wilderness area that you kind of hallucinate things. You hear things on the wind. You hear things, in the trees, the
Rafe,
rustling.
that
I
wasn't
have a
it.
name for it. It's called denial.
Ain't just a river in Trankasha.
Just wait a second. Give me a second, and I'll just reply back to the harm. It's part of his spell.
It's called third man syndrome, Archie. It's a legit thing. I promise you.
Is that
Not me like looking up third man syndrome.
say harm? Is that really you? If it is, yes, we are in Trankasha. We're in the frozen north, heading towards Whiskers encampment. How are you alive? How soon can you be here?
Also, what the fuck?
Yes.
Thinks for a second. Of course it's me. Praise Anubis. I'm headed to Krago. Anubis needs me to kill Gragnell's priest. Can you get to Krago?
I turn to Finry and Rafe. He said he's headed to Krago.
I was literally just there.
He's
Literally
chasing.
just there. I've been there for the last 4 fucking years.
Listen, Anubis has given him new life in death, I guess. Sent him on another mission to take down a priest of Gragnell. I don't know what
I've never done that kind of thing before, though.
I did have the dream where he brought back the other Finry that you guys were with after he got yeeted from the sphere of the gods and got mushed all over the Feywild.
You saw that?
What I more meant was like when Harm has previously discussed his religious affairs, has Anubis had such like a direct hand in like guiding him?
He had his
It
book.
seems very odd for like a divine supreme being to be so interested in one mortal, but then I'm just a cynical chicken.
Well,
Harm had his shit list book, which was just a list of
Yeah.
names, and I suspect that this is just Anubis starting that book from scratch and adding one new name to
more
it.
names. Yeah. Oh, so sorry, Mez. Just for some context, Harm was the guy that used to travel with. He worshipped this god Anubis. He had like a skeleton hand, and he was slowly rotting away. Pretty rad dude. Probably will try to kill me next time I see him.
Oh,
Maybe.
he absolutely
Maybe
will.
we can.
Finry.
Maybe we should disguise you.
But he said he's
I
headed to
can
Krago.
do that.
Look, are we-
Krago, yes,
Having
sorry,
people
focus.
want to kill you is not a new thing.
Yeah, no, mostly Krago wants to kill me. This is true. I mean, remember that time, in like our first time out together, Mez, and like there was that cultist, and and like they were right behind me, and you're like, Finry, duck, and then you like, I went quack, and then I got hit in the back of the head.
Remember that time that we were running away and you decided to flirt with the policeman?
Hey, that worked out in our favor, okay?
How?
You know what he's up to.
He did that in
We are-
I did do that a lot.
The other Finry did that too. There was a bunny, I believe, and he told me some wild stories.
Sounds like a Finry.
So, if we meet Harm in Krago, is that what we do now? We're heading to get some. What?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh
'Cause
shit!
he's waiting
Krago,
for me to tell
Krago,
him.
yes, sorry.
Can you
Sorry,
be
no,
sure
sorry, okay.
that him though? We saw him obliterated.
Okay,
How
now,
how do we
would
get him to
anyone
prove it?
lie?
Because they want us to die.
Who he
Ask
would
him
know
what
about
he thinks about Finry.
what?
Ask
what he
him.
thinks about Finry. Yeah.
Ask him a question that only he would know the answer to.
Ask him what his inseam length is. Because there's this one time when we were camping and I saw it. was nice. Like it was okay. Like if you're into that sort of thing, like a little bit rotted, but
No, I don't think I'll ask that. You can ask him when you see him.
Yeah, but also, we need to go to Krago anyway, no matter what, because the circle, there's a circle under Krago. They're using its power to fuel their armies.
Shall I ask him how he died to confirm it's him?
Yes.
That'll work.
That I think would work.
But then, if it is, yes, we're heading to Krago via Whisker's encampment to get freaking airship to fly there.
Sure.
That's right. Okay. I reply to Harm.
That was fun.
Harm. How can we be sure it's you? Can you tell me how you died?
Just make Harm use all of his spell slots.
He'll have a nap and get him back to fine.
It's fine, got plenty of days. Harm replies, yes, I can. Archie, you were there. We were in the Fae. I exploded with that ball to sacrifice myself and bring Anubis the power he needed. I don't know what happened after that. I've been with Anubis. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's tough for words.
I looked at everyone and say, this is him. Okay, my last... I reply again. We are headed to Krago. We're stopping in at Raef's home village to get some artillery. And we should be there in a few days. I hope. My judge of distance is not the best, but I think a few days.
Yeah, I can get you guys there in a few days.
Well, he's listening to everything we say. Yes, a few days.
If I'm looking at the schedule, a few days is what I've scheduled in on a totally random tangent.
I turn back to everyone else. It's him. He told me exactly what happened, how he died. Finry, it was not pretty, but he will tell you the story, I'm sure.
I reply.
Before or after he kills him?
But a few days is fine. I'm on my way now. I look different. I sound different. And I'm in disguise with Gragnell's followers. Are all the cows okay? You're with Rafe?
Rafe is currently holding his little jar of harm. Going, Harm! Can you hear me?
You hear nothing.
Talk to me!
Is he alright?
It's a bit cold for him up here.
Stuff like that.
I understand a few people find loss really hard to take, but
I shake it
must be
vigorously.
quite fresh.
Yeah, it was a very close relationship.
I can see that. I've never seen someone bring a friend in a jar with them.
Oh, it's very common in his culture. You shouldn't judge.
I literally spend a lot of my time with his culture. This is the first for me. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I didn't. No, I was specifically mentioning Rafe.
He also
Rafe.
makes an excellent spice mix.
Right.
You shouldn't take my meaning so literally. I didn't mean all cats. And cats folk.
Wait.
As you guys, I'm gonna just quickly fast forward us a little bit, but as you guys begin your journey, you head out into the snow. Can I get one of you to roll a d20? If it is below a 10, it will be a bad weather day. If it is above a 10, it is a good
I
one.
vote for Mez. You do it. Do it, Mez.
Sucked in.
I trust Mez's rolls.
Then we can blame the newbie.
No, I just do this.
Yeah, that's correct.
Ooh. Hey, you better buckle yourselves in. I was hoping that we'd get a clean start, but it seems that right off the bat we're going to get ourselves some bad weather.
God damn it, Jared!
I do recall that to be 80 gold pieces, but we'll settle things up when we get back. Don't stress yourself. And he says, all right, well, we're too far out already, and it looks like it's quite the storm brewing. Let's camp ourselves here and prepare for the worst. And he begins like setting up the tent, setting up sort of these tent kennels for the dogs, and hunkering down. And make sure you guys have got yourself something to eat, and get yourself settled into the tents. We'll see how long the storm takes.
I wait till everyone's in the tents, and then I open my can of surströmming.
And you're not sure in that moment which is worse. The storm outside raging, ready to kill you at a moment's notice, or being trapped in here with the smell of this fermented fish.
While we're camping, there's two things I want to do. I want to send another message to Harm first. Now to say, we left one Finry behind in the Feywild. But we regained another Finry here just today. Finry lives. He's different, he's changed. But he's here with us again. And while after that, I'm kind of like constructing a small palm-sized contraption over the next few days.
Do you also get to make stuff at night?
Who?
So opportunity, you being an artificer.
Yeah. What you want? I can craft stuff? Yeah, I'm gonna craft something.
I thought you roll a random thing and...
I'm about to try and find what it is. Look, I know it's a D6, so I'll roll a D6.
Let's have a random thing up our sleeves.
Hey,
It's a
last
two.
time there was a random thing, 4 years ago, I got a potion of flying, so...
Very good.
There it is.
I still have that potion of flying as well.
I have now a potion of swiftness.
You should check the expiry on that.
You guys,
yeah,
as you guys are brewing, you get a knock on the tent as the zip opens, and it is William. I'm not seeing any sign of slowing down. Are you guys brewing potions in here?
yes, potions, that's what it is. It's definitely potions.
I really have to start putting a clause that if you're brewing on my tours, that you better be sharing. You're going to be making enough for everybody to have some.
Look, there's only so much to go around, and our resources are limited. You just said we're in for a few days' travel, so I'm trying to do what I can to make sure we get through this storm as easily as
Yeah,
possible.
you got my eye on you. If you're making anything fun in here, I want some, right?
Sure.
I hold out the can of surströmming.
Something I'm feeling quite satiated. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Listen, I think based on how late it is tonight and the weather we're having, it's best that we hunker down and get some sleep. I reckon the sun will wake us up tomorrow, and if not, the wind will. So get yourself some rest. If we get an opportunity, we'll make our break for it tomorrow again. Good night, all.
Yes.
Who would like to roll for the next day's weather?
Just before the next day's weather, Harm's going to reply to Archie. You just hear this, like, it's a long time between replies, right? Like you're just about to go to sleep when you finally get the reply.
The time difference is a bitch.
They haven't got MBN, you see. Maybe they do have MBN. That's the problem.
But it's only fiber to like the telegram.
Fiber to the tent?
Like, yeah.
Fiber to the tent.
FGPT. Trying to be serious.
All our international watchers
okay.
are like, the fuck are they on about?
Arm's like, my time with Anubis has soothed my soul. I'll kill that traitor one day, but not today. See you in Krago.
You see, Archie just all of a sudden take a bit of a sigh of relief. That's it.
And as we close out for the night, when everyone's asleep, at roughly 2 a.m., Rafe does a lap at the tent.
Not again!
We haven't done a sleeping thing for a while.
Finry just kind of he wakes up and he just kind of smiles. He remembers the fun times.
The
4
great
years
old
ago.
days.
Yeah, the good old days.
All right, who has to be responsible for the next day's success?
Do it, Rafe.
I'll do it.
Go, Rafe. This is your home turf. You got to roll good. No, I said roll good. I said roll good.
Jared, your bad luck rubbed off on my dice.
Listen, it's only getting worse. 2 days straight to the storeroom. We're not moving anywhere. At this rate, I reckon we'll be snowed in by midday today. Best we all be getting our affairs in order. It's going to be another long one.
Well, whilst we're waiting, why don't you guys tell me what you've been up to? I mean...
Does anyone have nature? Like, can we do like a...
Surely.
I know he says that it's bad, but like...
Surely it is not that dangerous. It's just some snow.
Open it.
You mean you're able to have a nature check. If one of you guys wants to do a nature check to see if it's actually dangerous, feel free to go ahead.
I'd love to, despite the fact that I'm nothing.
Yeah, no. This is totally the spot where this would be exactly useful. So your experience with nature is being able to observe the world around you. As you stick your head out of the tent, all you see is white. It is probably a quick realization that lets you know that it is snowing.
Come back with icicles on your beard.
It is just snowy here. If you go elsewhere,
one less body for me to traffic if you decide to go adventuring out there in the middle of a snowstorm.
Man, you traffic bodies?
I mean,
no, it's more that I'm busy trafficking all of you, or am I not?
How far away are we from the encampment that we're going to?
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, we've got about half a day. I reckon we need another 2 good days ahead of us before we start.
It's at least 1,000 miles.
You know,
don't say it. Don't say it.
Very difficult here.
Meters, sorry, not miles.
I
meters.
think on the whole, you know, this trip will take you roughly about a part of the month that is left. You should have, if all goes well, a bit of the month left to plan your whatever you need to do at your destination. Unless you guys continue to just bring the worst of the weather towards yourself.
So what you're saying is if we have to walk 500 miles,
there it
we
is.
need to walk 500 more?
500 more.
That may be the need, especially if we're trying to head off in the middle of the winter and we head in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
what if I haber?
You may be onto something.
Is there a way that you can give the information to the people that you need to get it to, Rafe, beforehand? Do you have can one of your rooms do that? So that way when we get there, that time difference isn't too bad? I'm just saying, because if Harmy's going to Krago, he's gone, he disappeared. If Harmy's going to Krago and he's by himself, let me tell you, it is not a fun time. I have done that. I've done that for the last 4 years. It is dangerous. It is awful. Their tactics are underhanded. They will come at you when you least expect it, and it's bad. It's bad. Like as bad as you think it could be. It's worse than that.
Well, this harm that you described, he sounds a bit of a badass.
Yes, he is that.
Not incorrect, not unfactual.
You've seen Krago, Liz. You've done this. You've done a couple of missions with me. You remember?
Oh, it's a shithole, of course.
Dangerous, and in the middle of a war zone.
How is it you two know each other?
Oh, well, do you want to tell the story, Miz?
Oh, well, I took a contract in Kragos for a good 18 months or so. Moved on to the next one, but know the lay of the land a little bit there.
That's exactly how we know each other.
Right, that's shrouded in mystery and ambiguity. I like it. I like it.
I really love how you put all your emotion into the retelling of that one.
I keep forgetting that you're in here.
No, I'm right next to you. My tent is just very close by. You guys speak very loudly. It's almost like you're broadcasting it to the entire world.
Well, to at least 8 viewers.
And I am one of them in this moment.
Yeah. Hey, I don't need this potion anymore, and I'm gonna hold out the potion of flying. Did you want that one
has separated
back?
at this point.
Did you want that back to reutilize some of the bits, Archie?
I'll take it. Hasn't been touched. What? What do you mean? What have I got?
What? Trade?
Trade?
Yeah.
Now that you can fly with other means, you don't need the potion of flying anymore.
Well, I have something which will make you a little bit quicker for a while.
I'm already pretty quick.
Well,
the fastest.
You know my skill set.
Look, the little potions I make overnight are nothing too flash. This is more of basics type thing. But if there's something you might work on, if you've got an idea you want to try and create, then you can try and create it.
Yeah. So I'm good at the skeleton stuff.
There. We need to get through some more stuff. I'll let you two decide what you want to work on, and you can report back with the discussion in summary.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we need our next roll. D20, who's up?
I'll roll. I'll do it. 17.
We've got ourselves a clear day. Yes. Finally, get yourselves out of there. Quickly pack up the tents. We've got some miles to cover. You guys head off. You have your 1.5 days done. At the end of the day, he says to you, well, listen, we have the chance to get there in the next day, but it does require us to go through a bit of an abandoned mine site. There have been some discussions that there could be danger there, but it could get us there quicker. The alternative is we avoid it entirely. It will add probably another half day to our trip, but we avoid any danger as far as I've been reported.
Rape, this is your home place, but I think that we need to make up some lost time.
What sort of things might live in mines in stories of the North?
As far as I'm aware, we've had tellings of a Yeti sighting recently. Some sort of creature, 2 legs, big claws, big teeth, covered in white snow, just sort of hiding amongst the snows.
I can always try and scout ahead if you guys want and see if the way is clear.
Well,
I think we could just as easily lose
you. Well, he got here pretty fast, did you not? You got here unseen.
Yep, no. I flew the whole way, and boy were my arms tired.
You flew?
Oh, yeah. No, this cloak. It's the one that I got when we were at the Witchlight Carnival. The Witchlight Carnival? Somewhere. I think it was Witchlight Carnival. I got it somewhere.
Before you abandoned the rest of us, yes? That's the one?
Yeah, listen. You guys were gone for 4 years. It's a good thing I was here. If we were all gone, things would have been much worse. I was like the guerrilla strike force team disrupting things in Krago. Krago would probably have most of the continent by now if it wasn't for me.
Let's just say your abandonment was a sensitive issue for the rest of the cows.
Speaking of abandoned things, abandoned mine, should we put it to a vote?
I'm for it. Gets us out of this weather.
If we just keep going, we can just get straight through it. We don't have to stop to fight anything.
Yeah, we may not need to. We can be able to just walk straight through it and save ourselves half a day of travel. I think we need to do it.
Yep. What were you saying, Mez?
Oh, well, if we run into a Yeti or something, it would just be a fun thing along the way.
Nice experience, yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
So,
let's do it.
I'm just conscious of time. I need to wrap up the stream. But I want to give you guys like a window of time to plan the next month. So, as a result of your decision, there will be a Yeti fight next session because you guys are going right to a Yeti den, which is exciting. But in order for us to make sure that we don't lose momentum, assuming that most of you survive, what would the surviving group want to do at Whisker's encampment?
Rafe?
I think immediately seek counsel from my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Take stock of the state of the fleet and see what is viable to potentially fly, and share knowledge with who is the most familiar with the arcane.
So what I will give you, just as like, we'll definitely roleplay most of it next session, because I think it'll be a fun little scene that we can do sort of the whole conversation. But assuming that there's at least half of the month that they would require to mobilize and to learn from you and to roll out some of the things that you are, bringing to the table, you would only have like half a month left. If that all was to go to plan, what would the rest of that half a month look like for you guys?
Wait, so we're not going to be going to Krago in a couple of days like we told Harm. Harm's going to have a whole another month by himself.
I would suggest that there may be a few unconsidered realities of trying to create a new flying invention.
It's a long trip on the road to Krago anyway, from down low. Yeah. I think we're all ambitious.
Either way, it's going to probably take you the same amount of time. One of them just requires you to sit and wait a little bit longer, but then gets you there faster.
Look, if it was me, I'd be saying we need to find as many of these flying crystal things as we can. We need to get as many ships and as many people arming those ships and manning those ships as we can. We need to build an army.
Yeah. And I will just reiterate that you are probably talking about two different main points there. You are talking about a technological advantage, as we discussed. The army itself is a separate question. You can build vehicles for them, but you need to figure out a way to get people to fill those vehicles.
Yeah, just going to say, your people aren't all fighters, are they, Rafe?
And there's like 20 to 40 of them. Like, there are not enough to man an entire fleet.
What if because at the moment, Dramesh is fighting Krago, and so is Nandar.
Nandar is a bit preoccupied with the Galnedian invasion.
All right. But if we help out Dramesh, I mean, then, because they have a standing army.
Dramesh is fairly aligned with your point of view. It's just that, like, right now, the two armies are fairly equal. Like, Gragnell is, like, almost, like, able to beat back Dramesh because they've got an army of equal size. So it's like, it's more about how do you unbalance that.
I know a captain in the Drameshian army. I met him not long after you guys went to the Feywild. If we can get a message to him, to get a message to his higher ups about potentially, if we can get a fleet of ships to Dramesh, then we have then there's the army to take out Krago.
So it's like, it's more like, if we look at a tally, Gragnell army 1, you guys army 1. So right now the armies are equal. So if we give you guys some technology, that's good, but it doesn't count as you having more army. You have to be able to have 2 army where Gragnell has 1 army.
Could the kitties run a stealth mission? Because no one expects an assault from above.
Nobody expects the Kitty Inquisition.
No one expects the Kitty Inquisition. I'm just wondering, like, if the cats could fly from above and like pop a gate open at a strategic location and then allows someone to take a city.
Yeah, I mean, all of these are obviously great battle tactics that will come into play as the battles unfold. At a micro level, but at a macro level, like the way that the sort of 12 months will unfold is that, you know, the only way that you guys tilt the finale in your favor is by moving a few levers. One of them is technology advantage, which if you guys manage to roll out some ships, that's going to be that ticked off. But you guys need to find more than the Tremeshian army to support your war effort.
Why a Galnade?
Oh, no, close enough.
Why are Galnade and Nandar fighting?
Because Krago has distracted Dramesh, and Galnade can now take back some of its conquested lands, because now it doesn't have to worry about Dramesh interfering with its conquesting plans. So it's like it's now, because it's using the distraction to basically repeat history.
Right, but from like a cultural standpoint and stuff, are they more good aligned, or are they more like
Galnede is about like good. Very much like their people are all about like military and fighting, right? It's like very much in their nature to find something to conquer, something to fight over, because that's the way they keep peace within their own lands, is by, you know, keeping the stakes spreading. So while there was peace, the internal unrest was quite palpable, and as such as they came to terms with magic, they now see an opportunity to strike out again and take back some of the more valuable land that they believe rightly belongs to them.
Yeah, what I want to try and do over the next few weeks or something. Oh, sorry, Finry, were you trying to?
Oh yeah, no. I was just want to get lay of land, because what Nandar's deal is as well. If they just like chilling,
I think Nandar doesn't want,
because with what we started.
Yeah, like Nandar doesn't want Krago to exist right now, because it's causing problems with trade between Dramesh and Nandar. But Nandar can't like unlock some of its armies because it needs them to defend its own borders right now. So that's the geopolitical sort of landscape.
And hang on. Oh, I just had an idea. Hang on, I had an idea.
I know this is complex, but this is like why we're playing this at like a strategic level, because at the micro level, this would take us like years of in-game time to play.
Well, because so what if how many ships can they build once they have it going, Rafe? How many ships can they build? Like a bajillion, or
team with like maybe 3 ships that they came in on. So
but we need allies.
Whatever scale you want to enact needs to probably have outside resources as well.
Tell you what I want to try and do, DM. You let me know if this is possible.
Sure. I'm open to any ideas.
I want to reverse engineer the weasel keys to be able to open up doors to anywhere.
Yes.
Okay, so what I will do for you then, given that there is the sort of first half of the month that they'll be used to sort of do R&D on the ships, I will allow you, extend the same offer to you to try and use that time to do R&D on the keys. I can't say whether you'll succeed, but you're more than willing to use that time for that endeavor if that's what you want to do.
Absolutely. And
nice.
The other thing that I'm interested in is understanding if we can get a lay of where any other circles are.
Yep, cool. So you'll be sort of taking your time to try and understand the key a bit more, but also trying to understand a little bit more about how you can locate the remaining keys.
How many circles are left? I can't remember how many.
Quite a few, I believe. There's like 4, yeah.
I think it's 4, yeah.
Is there any
So another
and
avenue of the mysteries that you still have to unfold.
And Finry will definitely tell you guys that there is a circle underneath Krago.
Yeah, so you'd be looking for
so there's
3.
1.
When you say underneath Krago, what does that actually mean?
So in character, there was this one time, one of the cultist bases and stuff. There must have been high up there or something. I broke in, and after I finished, them, killing all of them, it was a lot of blood. It's still there, I feel sometimes. Anyway, there was in one of the offices. It was behind a locked door, but me locked. Whatever. I found rolled up in I thought it was a spell scroll or something. It was a map, but it was like they had the top layer and then below it, and it matched up perfectly. Underneath Krago, there is a massive. Well, I thought it was a temple, but it's a circle. If you look at it, it's a circle, and the notes registered written down next to the map. They're using the power from the circle to empower themselves and possibly Gragnell. I don't know.
That's the key, Finry. That's the thing. We need to take that power. So we did the same thing. You went there. We did the same thing, or Harm did the same thing with some hags in the Feywild. Took their power source away, and they were powerless to do anything else.
Can I just
Gloria?
The Feywild is a little bit of a segue. So it's kind of tangentially related. So I feel we've got these airship vehicles, right, but we have no staff and no army and no real political allegiances to any kind of populace here in the general realm. So there's no real motivation for anyone to kind of ally themselves with us to assist in fighting this cause that we have. So we're kind of alone in that regard. However, we have just been to the Feywild, right? And we did them a pretty fucking big favor by rewriting their whole kind of realm.
And we left instructions for other Finry to build an army.
Yes.
Oh, you left him instructions? We don't.
But also, having staff from there, bring them across, that's future us problems in terms of, if there's any kind of political rules against bringing members or Denzians from other planes.
We also know that time is terribly not in your favor, as Finry over there tries to build an army. It takes a month to build an army and then comes here a few years too late.
The whole Finry thing and just go straight to what's her face that was in prison that we set free. Moses one, right? Sibilna, and go, hey, our world went to shit while we were saving yours. Do you think you could do us a favor, given, we set you free and all that shit?
Totally an option. If Gloria wants to spend the half a month figuring out that avenue and seeing if you can get a fast track to an army that way, I'm more than.
I think that's probably what I would do.
A Fey army.
It's also
Fey
one that
army
they
on
least
kitty
expect.
Ships.
They don't expect
kitty ships. Yes.
They don't expect an attack from the sky. They don't expect a Fey army.
Led by a chicken.
This feels like a plot of Narnia.
Rabbit.
We're bringing Narnia to the table. It looks good.
And look, to get them out of the Feywild, we left one of the blokes there a weasel key as well. So they can all just put themselves through to the tavern.
We can all show up at the tavern.
We'll figure out how to get them from the tavern up to
lost it.
Okay.
No, he hasn't.
All right, so that's something Gloria wants to do. Is there anybody else?
If you're okay with that as an idea, I just don't see any.
No. So I have literally got nothing off the table here. So whatever you guys are looking to do, I want you to be led by your characters and the way that they would approach this problem, because I think narratively the cool thing about this part is like some of this stuff is going to work and some of it's not, but it's like trying to find, like, in the desperation of the time crunch, whatever Hail Mary you can to turn the tide in your favor is like the crux of this whole last part of the story. So I hope it pays off.
Well,
Part of the reason I wanted to get the weasel keys, like figure out how they work, is to build those alliances, to pop into other regions,
Nice.
and sell them on what we're trying to do,
Yes.
and get their people involved.
I think, like, at the end of the day, you're not going to have trouble with probably Dramesh at all. Like, Dramesh is really aligned to your goals. Nandar needs your help just solving the Galneed problem. And Galneed will probably need you guys to solve the, hey, we've been given literal desert with no real farmable land, and somehow we've been told that's our equal share of this land mass.
What
That's the landscape.
Just live on the eastern seaboard like the Australians do.
Yeah, it should be fine. I'm sure you guys got this.
Should be able to make that land agricultural.
What if the weasel key?
Hey, well, there's an avenue, right? You just gotta get them to think that way.
What if the weasel key could, and reverse engineering it, would allow you to basically open a door into a Krago stronghold and allow the Drameshian army to slip in and take it? So you might have skyships distracting from the top with lots of fey bunnies.
I think you're on the right track. I think you guys, I want you to write some of these ideas down, and we'll discuss them when we come into the battle plans. But yeah, these are all the type of things that I'm looking to lead into those last two sessions. Like how you're actually going to pull this off. Like, you need to build the tech today to pull that off in 10 sessions.
Man?
I have some friends I might be able to get in contact with and see if they can join our cause.
They're going to require gold, though, aren't they?
Oh, of course.
Finry will spend the rest of the time reacquainting himself with the party and helping them with what they need, really. He's not going to try to get... He knows that they all want to get to Krago, and he knows he needs to be patient and wait.
Nice.
To get there. Yeah.
Harm, given that you'll probably discover that you will have a few days at least to think about how you're going to approach this, are you going to go in by yourself, or are you going to find ways to occupy yourself until reinforcements arrive?
I'm going to find ways to kind of keep myself occupied until reinforcements arrive. Going to keep chatting with Chad just to make sure, just to make sure that I'm across whatever plans are happening. And the other part of that is also I'm going to start scrying on the High Priest, or attempting to scry on him as well.
Shit, you are disguised as a Kragian, right?
Yeah, I've picked up a couple of the the local Kragian follower type things for Gragnell's crew.
Fucking tell me you've got a weasel key on you.
I would still have my weasel key on me if I've got the rest of my gear, which I don't know if Anubis would have stripped me. I'll have to chat with that to the DM with that offline.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. It's like I think whatever corporeal form you had was completely destroyed. I think probably most of your gear was wiped.
We need to get
I will spend time in Krago rebuilding up some of my stuff, because Harm worked well because of all the extra stuff he had picked up along the way.
I think within reason, I don't think Anubis would have let you represent him without some additional support. So figure out, I guess you would have been given an opportunity to be like, hey, what do you need to be successful in your mission? And you would have been able to sort of state most of the gear you need, but it wouldn't have been very specific. It would have been kind of general. It's what do you need to rock this? Your ring is notwithstanding, because that was sort of bound to your, I guess, the essence of who you were.
Okay, cool.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome. I guess with that note, we'll be able to catch up on a bit more of how that all went next session after we overcome our Yeti encounter.
Yetis!
As for the rest of the
Oh,
week,
yeah, Gloria wasn't there for that part.
please feel free to keep chatting throughout the week and brainstorming ideas. The more of an idea you have what you guys plan to do, the smoother we can run the session. So don't feel too bad about just throwing some ideas in the chat. Otherwise, as far as the stream goes, I think that's where we'll wrap it up for this evening.
Woo!
And I hope everybody had a good time, and I can see already that you guys are starting to put the different things you guys have to still figure out how to do together.
I love it that the DM's sort of railroading us into, you guys need a plan.
Well, it's like I've given you too big a problem for you guys not to plan, otherwise you'll fail. But there's no pathway that I've actually figured out on how to solve it.
But it's such the cow's way to just be like,
Leroy Jenkins.
whatever. We'll work it out over a pint.
Over a
You know what
hairball.
we do? What we'll do is we'll get a ship, right? And we'll fly it straight at Krago, crash it into the city, and then we'll just jump off the ship before it hits, and then we'll just go crazy.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why we couldn't just explode the whole city?
Innocent people.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I guess again, without answering that question for you, good avenue for exploration.
Archie, you've got a month to work out a tactical nuke.
A dirty nuke.
Want it.
You're only
Can
supposed
you
to blow
split
the
the
bloody
atom
doors off.
with medieval tools in a month?
Oh, you know how we reworked the Fae, right? So you know how it got remolded, yeah, without the evil presence? Can't we just make Anubis do that again? Just make it without the
Anubis is occupied.
Yeah, feel free to ask the God of Death why he hasn't done something your way yet.
Yeah, I'd be like, come on, what are you slacking off for?
Yeah, what have you done for me lately, Anubis?
What if we just offered him fresh perspective, new way of handling things? Don't fight Cracknell, just level the city.
No. What we need to do is we need to sit Anubis down and be like, hey, Anubis, strange thought, but have you considered winning yet? Just winning, going and winning.
It would be
getting him to 0 hit points before you get to 0 hit points. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you considered sucking less?
Yeah. I think part of it though is also if we take out a bunch of the going out of character for a sec, if we take out a bunch of the priests and the people who believe in Gragnell, take away a lot of his local power, that spiritual realm battle becomes a little bit lopsided in our favor.
So you're saying so you're
what do you think Finry's been doing for the last 4 years?
I don't know what Finry's been doing the last 4 years. He deserted us, and one day he'll be desert. But yeah, I'm not really keen on whatever he's been doing for the last 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to say you'll get his just desserts?
You get
All right,
that
team.
bombshell.
That's sleep time for me. So I will say good night. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and another big thank you to Behold Games for their continuing support of the stream and their wonderful selection of gear for your game needs. Otherwise, from all of us here at Raging Rolls, we shall see you next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time now. I think we're back to Standard Time. Where we will enjoy another session of adventures.
It's dark when I get home.
Well, we'll see you all next time.
We're going to go raid someone, so say hello to Crit and Miss for us.
Bye.
Tell them that the cow sent you. Bye.
Good night,
Let's do it.
Dick Nibbles.
Bye. Dick Nipples. I didn't even say Dick Nipples all night.
To the progress.